Alright, it is Roger with igadgetgeek, and I have another couple first impressions today. It's going to be of the Pantech Burst for AT&T and the new Pantech Element. Now these are two brand new 4G LTE devices that will be going on sale this Sunday, January the 22nd, 2012. Now the reason I'm doing both of these together, they are running a promotion for a limited time. Now the Burst here retails for $49 with a 2-year contract. The Element is going to run you $299 with a 2-year contract. But right now, if you purchase both of these devices on a 2-year contract, they're going to knock $100 off the combined price, which brings it to $249.99 with a 2-year contract. So let's go ahead first and take a look here at the Pantech Burst. Here is the box that it comes in. It's pretty standard AT&T packaging that we've seen on several devices. This is one of their 4G LTE devices. It does have a 4-inch Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 480 by 800. It is running Android 2.3.5, and it does have a 5 megapixel rear camera that will shoot 720p HD video, and it does have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. Now, the second thing we're going to look at is going to be the Pantech Element. As you can see, the packaging is here. It is a 8-inch Android tablet. Now, it is running Android Honeycomb 3.2, and it also runs on AT&T's 4G LTE network. Now, it has an 8-inch HD display with a resolution of 1024 by 768. It has a gig of RAM, a dual 1.5 gigahertz processor, and I failed to mention the Pantech Burst does have a 1.2 gigahertz dual core processor. Now back to the Element. It is going to be a waterproof tablet. Yes, waterproof tablet. At the end of this video, against all of my better judgment and every fiber of my being that tells me not to get my electronics wet, I will be taking this tablet and running it under some water. So stay tuned for that at the end of this video. But right now, let's go back to our first impressions, and let me go ahead and get these out and we'll take a look. Okay, we are back. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the Burst. So we'll go ahead and set the Element to the side, and we'll go ahead and open this box here of the Burst. Let me go ahead and open this seal. We'll pull it out and get a kind of a look at my first impressions. Now, of course, you get a quick start guide and a little bit of warranty information. You get the phone itself. Go ahead and see what else they've included. Of course, you have your wall charger, which is a USB adapter, so you're able to use a standard USB cable with a micro USB on one end to charge this phone. Now, it does come with the cable, and that is a pretty heavy-duty USB cable. If you look at that, it's quite thick. It is a standard USB and micro USB. See what else we have. The back cover. Of course, they were nice enough to include a SIM, and it does take the micro SIM. As if you're familiar with my review on the Pantech Pocket, it also required a micro SIM. So this Pantech Burst also requires the micro SIM. So we'll go ahead and put that in and fire it up here in a minute. Now here's our battery. It is a 1650 milliamp hour battery, so it's quite large, so we should get quite a bit of use out of this phone off of that battery. Let's set some of this packaging to the side. We'll get this open and we'll get it turned on. Go ahead and start with the battery. It is 1650 milliamp hour battery. Go ahead and slide our phone out. Go ahead and pull some of these, the texting and driving, it can wait, our little sticker here on the screen. We'll set that to the side. Now we also have one here over the camera. So let's go ahead and pull this off so we can take a look at it. We got our little protective thing over the camera. We'll get that out of the way. Now we have our battery door. And it has a really kind of a neat, almost, I'm not sure if it'll show up on video, but it kind of has kind of a brushed look to it, almost like a brushed aluminum. It is feels like plastic, but it does have a pretty unique look to it. Let's go ahead and pop out our SIM. We'll stick this in. Make sure I get it in the right way. Go ahead and slide our little SIM card in here. Now here's our micro SD card slot. Now this phone does come with 16 gigabytes internal storage, and you can expand that storage up to an additional 32 gigabytes with a micro SD card. Of course, here on the back, we'll go ahead and slide our battery in. We'll put our battery cover back on. And now we'll go ahead and take a little look around at the hardware. Now here on the very bottom, you have, of course, the place to remove the battery door and your microphone. On the left-hand side, you have a volume up and down. Now on the very top, you have your power on and off button. We'll go ahead and kick this on and let it boot up while we finish our look around. Then you also have your 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right hand side, you have your sync charge port, which is a micro USB. Now on the very back, you have a secondary microphone, a flash, your 5 megapixel rear camera that does shoot video in HD, and your speaker. Now we have got this booted up for the first time, and right out of the box, this 4-inch screen does look very nice. It is a Super AMOLED, so if you're familiar with those screens, they're going to look very nice. You've got your standard capacitive buttons at the bottom. So let's go ahead and just kind of skip through all this setup stuff, and we'll finish it all later. We'll go ahead and let it finish booting up. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and reposition my camera for our first initial look at the software. Okay, I've repositioned my camera a little closer here so we can get a look at the software on my first impression. So let's go ahead and hit the lock screen. Now we are presented, it is a very similar lock screen to what is presented on the Pantech Pocket. Now, I don't know if you caught that or not. It has a CRT off animation, which I'm a big fan of. We'll go ahead and let it kick off, as you can see there. Now, of course, you can unlock this by sliding any one of these into the center, and it allows you to go to those shortcut places, whether it be your email, music, text messaging, or unlocking the phone. Now you have 7 home screens that you can scroll to. It does not do the infinite loop, but you can scroll back and forth to all 7 of these home screens, and it will do, I believe, the pinch out, and then you can go straight to any home screen that you would like. Which is a nice feature. Now, of course, you do get some of the pre-installed widgets that you get from AT&T and Pantech. So you can see there's our Facebook widget. Of course, you have your featured apps and some of your other AT&T apps, your AT&T code scanner, your family, your My AT&T, several other pre-installed apps that are pretty common. You have what here appears to be a calendar app, a music player, gallery. Let's see which gallery version it has. It is pretty much the standard gallery. Let's go ahead and go in here to settings and look at About Phone. Of course, we have our Android version is 2.3.5. Now let's go ahead. We should be able to go to Applications. Unknown sources you are able to use, which is great that that is included on all these phones now. And of course, Manage Applications, Running Services. Alright, it looks like we've got what appears to be running 680 megabytes free, so that tells me this has probably got about a gig of RAM installed with its 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor. This is going to be an excellent phone for a $50 price tag. Now, you can't really call this an entry-level phone, because if you remember, just a few months back, the Samsung Galaxy S2 hit the market on AT&T. It retailed for $200. Great phone. It retailed for $199. Now, this phone is one of their new LTE devices, and it retails for $49 with a 2-year contract. Going to be an excellent buy for anybody looking to maybe for their first time jump into the Android smartphone market, this is going to be a great place to start. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Pantech Element. I'll reposition my camera and we'll go ahead and take that out of the box. Alright, we are back with the Pantech Element. This is a waterproof tablet. It has an 8-inch screen. So let's go ahead and take a look in the packaging. Of course, you have a quick start guide. The tablet itself, we'll pull it out of the packaging. We'll get this screen shield off. It is an 8-inch tablet, as you can see, and the back of it has a really neat carbon fiber look to it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and see what else comes in the packaging. Let's set the tablet to the side. Of course, you have some more information on warranty and all that good information. Of course, you get a charging block, which is a USB adapter, and a USB to micro USB cable to charge the device itself. Go ahead and set that to the side. We'll take a look around here at the tablet itself. The back of it is presented with a really neat carbon fiber look to it. Have your rear 5 megapixel camera with flash, and it will record video in 720p. On the very bottom you have some doors here that contains your micro SD card and your SIM card. So you can see it's already got a SIM card preloaded. Now this does have 16 gigabytes built in internally. Now you can expand that through this micro SD card up to an additional 32 gigabytes. An HDMI out, and there is your sync and charge cable. So right there built into it, all you have to do is have the micro HDMI to HDMI cable, and you're able to put your content from your tablet onto a screen. So we'll go ahead and put those closed. On the right hand side we are presented with nothing but bezel. Now here on the very top of the tablet you have a microphone, your volume up and down, and your on-off button. So we'll go ahead and turn this on, let it boot up while I finish our look around. Phone jack, there is your 3.5 millimeter headphone port, and we can go ahead and close that back up. Go ahead and take a look here at the software. Now I'm going to reposition my camera so we can get a little bit better close-up on the software. Okay, I am back, and let's go ahead and get started here. We'll skip through all this startup. We'll come back and mess with that later. We'll just cancel that. Just skip through all of this. There we are. Now we're presented with our home screen. It is pretty much honeycomb. It is lightly skinned. As you can see right now, we have a total of 5 home screens that we can scroll through, and presented with several different widgets. There's your bookmark, your accounts, all kinds of different things. Now this is just going to be my initial review. I will have a full in-depth review on this and the Burst. And keep in mind right now, if you purchase both of these, the Pantech Element and the Pantech Burst together, it will run you $249 with a 2-year contract on both. So let's go ahead and take a look here at our settings. Go ahead and go back. Let's go into settings. Let's go in here, about tablet. So you can see it is running Android 3.2.1. Let's go here to storage. It does have 16 gigs built in. Let's go up here to applications. Unknown sources we can select. So you are able to install unknown sources right out of the box. Now this has kind of been my first impression of the brand new Pantech Element 8-inch tablet on AT&T on their 4G LTE network, and the Pantech Burst, a 4-inch smartphone that runs on AT&T's 4G network. Now there again, you can purchase just the Pantech Burst for $49 with a 2-year contract. The tablet can be purchased for $299 with a 2-year contract. But if you decide to purchase both of these together, you will get $100 off, and that makes both of them combined together for $249. Now, stay tuned. I'm going to splice in a video of some water being poured over this waterproof tablet. So I will include that video here at just a moment.